What's up, guys? This is the Blackman1467 here. I'm here to talk to you a video about Overkart 64, which is a program where you can create your own custom tracks for Mario Kart 64 and also edit character stats. This program is edited by Dan Hamster based off the research of what Micro 500 did. This tool is pretty much leading the way of making custom tracks into the game. This is probably taking the longest time, but I'm glad that this is now available for anybody to use. Uh, I also got a couple questions about the program and myself that I can't wait to answer for you guys, and I hope everybody looks forward to this. So, uh, is it compatible to Blender? Blender, no, not exactly. It's really mainly compatible with 3DS Max. I know, if I'm correct, that Dan Hamster eventually wants to make it compatible with Blender, but I don't know how long that's going to take or when he's eventually going to do that. Uh, Hopefully, what you can do, I'm going to go on a whim here. You can make the model in Blender, export it, and then put it in 3DS. But honestly, I recommend just making it from 3DS from the start, so it just won't complicate anything because 3DS and Blender work entirely different. I think 3DS is slightly more complicated, but it's worth learning in the end, especially that we don't have necessarily a timetable for Blender to be fully compatible with Overkart 64. What tools do I need to start making custom courses? Well, of course, you need a copy of MK64, definitely any model editing software, but definitely recommend 3ds Max. And of course, you're going to need the Overkart 64 program to import the track into the game. How did you meet Dead Hamster? That's actually a good question. I'm gonna go on a whim, and I say if I'm correct, I met him in Micro's server. I think he joined it one day. I think this is right after Micro made Micro Mountain that he joined, and we find out that he had a lot of information on NK64 and he was very knowledgeable on it. And then eventually he made his own server, which is on Discord, which is called, of course, Overcart 64. And we kind of just grew from there. Once he made his tutorials and stuff about making custom courses, it just grew from there. And I also will leave a link in the description for his channel and the link to get the Overcart program. His channel also does have a tutorial about how to make custom tracks. I think it's a 6-part tutorial. What is the best way to start making custom track? I will say if you don't have a lot of experience with model editing, much less 3ds Max, start with something simple in my opinion. Like for me, I'm starting simple. I'm just going to do Mario Circuit 1 from Super Mario Kart. I will say any track that's from Super Mario Kart is probably the best one to start with, or even if you want to start a track from, I say, like the GBA series from Super Circuit, I would say start from those any track from those two series, because since most of the tracks are flat in those two games, it's best to start with those two series because it has the no 3D planes or what to say, so everything's 2D in that game. Instead of starting from scratch, can I just edit a model of a track and then import it to the game? I'll be honest, I have never tried that. I honestly never thought about that. I would say maybe. I would say if that is possible, that would definitely make things a little bit easier. But I'm not going to guarantee and say yes because that could not be the case. As since a model is already technically pre-rendered and you haven't put your own coordinates or haven't put any of your own, let's say, like your own course path, your own renderings and stuff, that might be a little bit more complicated. But I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't rule it out. I would say give it a try. I know there's some websites that already have a lot of tracks models already. You can download and import the game, import it to the Blender software or 3DS software, and it will be fully rendered, fully colored, and everything. So I mean, that could be the case, but I'm not going to say yes or no. What is your experience with MK64? My experience with MK64, I of course have been playing it for like 15 years. Definitely had it since I was a kid. I always been very talented at the game. I mean, the game is not really hard to begin with. Um, but I would say in terms of hacking, I want to say I think I started hacking the game 2014, 2015. Uh, at the time, long story, my high school kind of had everybody had their own personal laptops, and I knew some things I could do with the laptop that lets me get MK64 and play on it. Um, I started really, with little things like, editing the track scaling of a track. I would say the AI like this, where it always cheats, or I have the AI, where it can never cheat. Um, but I think my biggest accomplishment, I would say, is when I made my own special hard mode where, let's just say, it makes it harder for me to win. It makes the AI faster, makes me slower, and that's probably my biggest accomplishment so far, at least to me. I know I haven't done much since then, at least not for the past year. But since now custom check is now being a thing, and now more people are aware of it, I'm definitely working on custom tracks right now, and hopefully I can get that done up in the next few weeks. But that's my plan, I would say right now. That's my biggest accomplishment. I have multiple modes that I've done so far. Do you enjoy playing time trials? Time trials, yes and no. Uh, I like time trials, but I don't like it. For me, it's not that I'm not good at the game, or not that I somewhat enjoy it. I think it just honestly, it just bores me. It bores me a lot, and that's the reason why I made uh the hard modes, because for me a challenge has to be, of course, a challenge hard but enjoyable, and I don't find time trials really enjoyable. I know people that tell me I should do time trials. I remember specifically about 2 years ago was when I last streamed on Twitch. I was doing time trials, and there was this guy, I think his name was Dan. um he was watching me stream on Twitch playing time trials, and I PB'd multiple times on multiple tracks. He says I have potential, but I never just got around with it. I never could fully get into it. I can see why people like time trials. I just could never get into it. Who else is in the Discord, and what experience do they have? So, Dead Hamster kind of has his Discord organized into three kind of separate categories. There's the pit crew, which is basically people who supported directly or indirectly with Overkart 64, or knows very knowledgeable with Mario Kart 64 in terms of hacking. This is a group where I kind of fall into. Uh, this is also the second group is called Racers, and this is mainly the people who like the time trial line. Like, if you ever heard of Abney 317, he's one of the biggest, time trial speed runner kind of guy. He's the category where he kind of falls into, and then there's the category called audience, which is kind of like the general population, I would say. So it was kind of split up into those three categories. Right now, um, there's about, I think, nearly 100 of us in there. I think I could be wrong, could be less than that, but I would say nearly about that much. So I mean, I would say if you ever need help, or if you have a lot of interest in MK64 hacking, I would say this Discord is the way to go. We're always looking for people to hack the game, looking for people to make custom courses, and always looking for people to do things with MK64. So if you're interested, I think if I can get a link, if it allows me, I'll get the link to his Discord as well and put it in the description box as well. And do I personally plan on doing anything outside custom courses in the future? That's kind of hard to say. I don't know exactly what I can do outside making custom courses at this point. I mean, I did all the hard modes I can do, which actually reminds me, there's one mode I never released at all. Like, there's a mode I made maybe like 2 years ago that was gonna be the finale of it, like the hardest I ever made it, and I just never released it. I don't know why I never released it either. And I made a video on the one previous before that, but I never released the code too. I should get around to that. But I would say custom courses is probably gonna be my main focus at this point. Um, is there any other hacking related things to MK64 that's never been released? Actually, yeah, there is some things that's been done in there besides the custom course and all this stuff. There's a guy named Triclon. I hope I didn't butcher his name. He's the reason he made this hack where the AI can use mostly all items. So now he made it to the way that the AI can use all the shells, the ghosts. Well, they can already use ghosts, but they can use shells now. So green shells and red shells. He made that possible. So he also has that release. I know he made a battle hack called Hot Potato. I don't know what exactly where that how that works. I got to figure that out. But he made Triclon's another big one there that I would say he done a lot of things for MK64. So I would say if you definitely want to try any of these hacks out, custom courses, definitely come to Overkart 64 Discord. I can't even speak today. How many custom courses are there total? So there's the Starlight one that was made back in '07. So that's one. There's Micro Mountain, Toads Valley Village. I would say Lon Lon Ranch. So I think there's about a total of seven custom tracks total. Um, I would say about a total of 7 custom tracks so far. So I think that's all the questions I actually got. Yeah, that's it really. Time trials, what I need to start, best way to start, imported the model, my experience with MK64, how did I meet Dead Hamster, is it compatible to Blender? That's it really. But definitely, I'll leave the description for the YouTube channel where the tutorials at, and I'll leave a description on where you can get the program and Overkart program so you can import your tracks or edit the character stats. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are interested in MK64, and I'll see you next time.